everyone, and welcome to Late Night Book Chat. My name is Patricia Meredith.
I'm Andrew Meredith.
Andrew Meredith. And we are so excited to have, tonight we have a very special guest, a fellow booktuber who we've been following for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Miss Anitha. And you can find her channel is linked down below. Definitely check her out. We'll be learning all about what makes Anitha tick tonight. So if you have any questions for her, be sure to put them in the comments. Put a little asterisk or star at the front of it so we can find them quickly, and we'll save all your questions for the end because I have a full list of questions for her first. So, Anitha, hi!
Hi.
Hi.
And I do want to point out that Anitha was early.
She was, yes, Tori.
We've been talking for the last 20 minutes.
She's been here early, on time. She's ready to go.
Yes.
See, Tori, Anitha is never late.
That's right. She's a wizard. She arrives exactly when she
needs to. Exactly. So she's right on time. So Anitha, tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel.
Okay, my channel name is Anitha Gade, and I mostly read fantasy, very rarely sci-fi. These days I'm also enjoying historical fiction.
Excellent.
Yes.
And it's been 2 months since I posted a video, but I am going to come back in June. June is my birthday month, so I'm motivating myself to get out of this reading slump and make videos.
Excellent.
It is happening.
So speaking of reading slumps, how do you get yourself out of a reading slump?
Usually,
by trying different genres. Now, I tried so many. Now I'm on to fantasy romance. I'm actually enjoying this book. I started in Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping this will get me out of the slump, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's so tricky, right? When you get into that point and you're just like, okay, nothing is hitting right. You can go the Andrew Wizard route and just DNF everything. Or you can try something new and hopefully something eventually just sparks that joy in reading again, right? Because that's why we do this, right?
Yeah.
It's to read more books, write more books.
Yeah.
All of the above. So, all right. So, Anitha, we normally start with 5 random questions. So these are totally random. I don't even know what they are.
List,
Yep, they're not on our list of things to do.
Unless I pull the Poirot question again.
Yes.
And I put it back in for the 5th episode in a row.
I'm saving it for a mystery reader.
I know you are.
So.
All right. Which Poirot? No, I'm joking. All right. This is a great question. This is a good one. All right, Anitha. Which character from the Fellowship do you most identify with? And those in the comments, you can, on the side, comment on who you think Anitha best exemplifies. But Anitha, who do you think, without looking at the comments section, do you think...
There are characters I like. Identify with is so difficult. I would say maybe... Mary?
Yeah,
Mary.
I believe it.
Yeah, I can see you.
I was gonna say Pippin, and I thought about it. No, you're Mary.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Pippin, but Pippin frustrated me so much. So
I think Evie might be your Pippin.
Oh yeah.
You're both trouble, and you keep each other accountable, and you keep her accountable, right?
There you go.
Evie, unpopular opinion. Please don't attack. We don't like Sam. My opinion is same as actually Alan's. During my first unpopular opinions video, I said one of the answers to the question was I don't like Samwise. Oh my god, he was so boring in books. In movies, he's very good actually.
Yes.
But in books, he was so boring. So somebody commented that I should check Alan's video. And then I went and checked Alan's video. He made some comments about Sam and he apologized for it. But talking bad about Samwise,
You're like, yeah,
like Sam at all.
we're on the same page. But yes, yeah, definitely. I see you.
I can see that. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right. Ooh, what is your favorite bookish merch? So merchandise, right?
Like cups or bookmarks or special editions from book binding.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I don't usually buy special editions. I just started recently.
Mhm.
I go with bookmarks. I love bookmarks.
Excellent.
Bookmarks.
As a kid, when I started reading, I used to use TV remotes and all kinds of things. But when
Yep,
I
yep.
found, I think I found bookmarks when I was teenager. I was crazy about them. I used to collect them. I mean, when I was moving to Canada, my friend actually made so many bookmarks, handmade bookmarks, and gifted me. Damn, I did not know you were going to ask this. Otherwise, I would have searched.
Well, you should just do a short. You should do a YouTube short showing your collection of bookmarks.
Ooh, yeah.
You could, and if you have too many, that's great. That's more shorts you can make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hold on. So what kinds of bookmarks? Do you like the ones with tassels or laminated ones
Or magnet.
Magnets? Yeah. What's your preferred?
A dog-eared edge of a
No.
the dust cover.
I don't like too much glimmer on that. I like simple one with simple quotes.
Mhm.
I prefer them actually. Whenever I pause a book, I look at the bookmark and smile. I mean, those kind of bookmarks I like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
One second, please. Sorry, there is a question in a chat. Hey everyone, hey chat. Evie, I do have a favorite bookmark that was a Harry Potter bookmark. I don't know where I kept it. I used it a lot. My friend made it, handmade it, painted it actually. Harry Potter with his wand. So that was my favorite.
Nice. Was it a particular house?
No,
Just Harry Potter.
it's just Harry Potter.
Yeah, great. All right. Would you rather read a book that is really well written but has a terrible story, or the other way around?
Tough. I would rather read a book with a good story and badly written. I mean, no, I don't think I read a book which is very well written. Oh, okay. Again, unpopular opinion. I'm so sorry, if people. I mean, if you get bad comments, but take an example. For example, Song of Achilles. I loved Circe by Madeline Miller. Writing was beautiful, but Song of Achilles, it was so popular. I loved the writing, but oh my god, main character Patroclus is so whiny. I hated it so much.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't. It was beautifully written though.
And it's, you know what, it's okay to have unpopular opinions.
That's right.
That's what makes you popular on YouTube. Is when you're willing to share your unpopular opinions. People love that, right? And yeah, I mean, and we all have different unpopular opinions about different things. Yeah, there are things that I still have. I've been biting my tongue and not shared my thoughts on something.
Oh, me next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Evie, Claudius the God doesn't have good plot. It was horrible actually.
All right. Do you prefer standalones, duologies, trilogies, tetralogies, or long series?
Standalones, definitely.
Standalones.
I mean, of course, I like to be with characters for a long time, but standalones give closure immediately. I prefer that way.
Yeah. Oh, I think.
And by the way, Guns of the Dawn is one of the best standalones I ever read, and everyone should read that. It's my recommendation, Andrew. My recommendation.
Yes, we are here to correct that. Tori was not the first to recommend this book to us. Anitha was the first to tell us we needed to read this book. So now we have a copy. We're very excited to read it. So.
Thank you.
All right, so last random question. If you could live in a book, like live out a book, which one would you live in? If you could live out the story in a book.
You know, I have been thinking about this question for a long time because when I read Harry Potter, oh my god, I wanted to be in that world so badly.
Yeah.
I mean, more than Harry Potter books, when I read fan fiction, I wanted to live out those experiences. I was very crazy about that. These days, most of the worlds are actually set. Suppose take Long Price Quartet, my favorite series, all-time favorite series. But I don't want to live in this world. It is very
Right.
scary with that magic system. So I have been thinking about this. I don't know. I don't think other than Harry Potter. I mean, these days, I don't think I want to live out in any kind of magical world. All of them are scary, actually, not beautiful worlds.
Yes. So if you could live in Harry Potter but choose not to live Harry's story, is there a character in Harry Potter that you would be like, oh, I want to be like, I would love to be Professor McGonagall.
Yeah.
Yes, I think being McGonagall would be so much fun.
When I was reading fan fiction, my favorite genre is reading about what are they called? Harry's, I mean James' four friends.
Oh yeah, the Deathly Hallows is the
no.
Marauders or something
Marauders,
like
yeah,
that.
Marauders map,
Yeah. That was my favorite genre to read. So I want to live during that time actually as a friend to them.
There you go.
Now, what house are you?
Yes.
Gryffindor, without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're both Ravenclaw.
Yep.
So, yeah, somehow we ended up in the same house. I don't know. Yep. But have you played Hogwarts Legacy?
No.
The game.
So much fun. I don't know if you have a gaming computer, but it's incredible. You literally just get to fly. I mean, there's missions too, but I've spent hours just flying around Hogwarts on my broom. It is such a good game. Yeah. It is so immersive, and it takes place just before Dumbledore's old enough to even come to Hogwarts. So it's like 1890 or so. It's kind of ephemeral, but what year it is. But it's a great game.
Yeah, so during the Goblin Uprising.
During one of the Goblin Uprisings.
Yes, yeah. But if you're looking for a way to like live out Harry Potter, it's the closest thing I've ever seen. Yes. Yeah, and especially because, like you said, like you can take your time. You don't have to follow the story. Like you do. It still pushes you along. But you can spend open world. Hours just
going around fighting trolls
and
collecting their bogeys to make into potions and
potions and absolutely love it. So, all right. Well, that's a good way to start.
Yes.
What question did you want to start with specifically for Anitha?
First one's easy.
Start with the easy ones. We'll build her up.
How long have you been a YouTuber?
Oh my God. 2.5 years. 3 years this August. 3 years this August.
So what got you started with that? Was it a particular book that you read, or what
peer pressure from somebody else?
Yes.
There was pressure, but it's not that I already wanted to be. I found BookTube in 2021. I was like so happy. I was like, oh my God, if we get to talk to people, discuss books with people, I want to be part of this community. That was my goal before joining. And then I joined couple of discords, and there was this Discord. I don't think you guys know. There is this guy called Gregory Lepage. He's not doing content anymore.
Okay.
And so I used to be very active on that Discord, and all of them, those friends actually encouraged me. They had this thing like, they already subscribed to my channel. They are like, okay, if you get 10 subscribers, you have to make a video. You have to do your first video. And they send me questions. That was my first video.
Oh,
awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Answering question and answers.
Oh, wonderful. I'll have to go back and like look at your very first videos, because I've never done that, just to see how you started. I should do that with everybody.
Yeah.
With a lot of people. See how far everybody's come. So in the past 2.5 years. So do you remember what's the first book you reviewed?
Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. One of my favorite books.
I was going to say, was it a good review? Was it one you loved?
Yes.
Excellent. So good. Do you enjoy making positive review videos better, or the unpopular opinion negative reviews?
Definitely positive. I mean, I rarely do negative reviews. So I think Song of Achilles was my first negative kind of review. Negative as in, of course, I gave it 3 stars. My negative review is 3.25 stars. I never give 1 stars actually.
Yeah.
I always find something to enjoy in a book.
Good. So
that's
there you
great.
go.
It's a good mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then you also do like reading sprints, and you do lots of buddy reads with Alan and Evie and that whole crew, right? And those are so much fun to watch. You guys all just go at it. Yeah.
Can I ask how did last year go for the buddy reads? Because I know you had 60 buddy reads.
60?
Yes.
60? Oh my goodness.
It was a lot actually, more than 60 maybe. First half of last year went very well actually. I had many 5-star reads, my favorite reads from the first half. Later from second half, I think from August or something like that, it slowed down. But I mean, buddy read wise, it wasn't that successful. But the amount of good books I read was very good actually. I really enjoyed most of the books.
Nice. How many books did you end up reading last year?
Yeah.
My God, it's been so long.
I
know it's almost June.
Halfway through this year.
I think somewhere around 50 to between 50 to 60, and I also found some very good new authors, indie authors like you both and Tiago, JCM Byrne. Oh my God, all of your books are my favorites. All are 5 stars.
Yeah. It was a good year last year for finding new indies. There was a good push for lots of new and lots of wonderful booktubers helping us all get discovered. So.
Yeah, I know you recently did a review of JCM Byrne's first book.
Yes.
Is that the only one you read, or have you read past that?
No, that's the only one I read actually. Okay. And oh my God, that was so close to my heart because Rohan's mom is from not just my country, my state actually.
Really? And you haven't read number 2 yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
no spoilers. You read number 2.
So there are so many like small things when he said that. Oh, I mean, there are some jokes whenever Rohan meets new alien or new member, he talks like, in my culture we do this. I was like, oh my God, we do that. I was so happy while reading that book. Actually, it made me so happy. It made me feel close to home, if that makes sense. Actually,
good. Yeah. Well, I highly recommend his books for getting out of reading slumps. He's pulled me out of reading slumps a couple times now.
You often call him your comfy read.
When I'm like, man, nothing is hitting right, and I'm like, well, okay, there's another JCM Byrne book. I'll go grab another one of those because I know it's always gonna bring me that happy feeling of he's just Rohan's so funny. Rohan, yeah. He's so funny, and his pacing for his books. I feel like he does such a good job. And
I forget, you'll have to tell us, remind us what his name Rohan means. Something.
Does it?
In India, like I forget what it means. Do you remember what it is?
I'm also forgetting right now. Yes, Rohan means, I think it's something related to shining or something. I think so. I have to cross check. Excuse me.
Yeah. That's yours.
That's
good thing we're married.
Thank you.
Cheers.
We're drinking all of our water. Yeah, but I love Byrne's. So Byrne, for those of you who have not read his books,
JCM Byrne.
Yeah, JCM Byrne.
We brought him here to discuss if we wanted to.
Yes.
So first book is Wistful Ascending.
Yep. And he crosses genres. It's superheroes in space.
But with magic.
So is it science fiction? Is it superheroes? Like, it's both. It's wonderfully both. He balances the two genres just beautifully well. And then he's got a new series out now too.
This is book 4. And I know this book 5 for this series is coming out like in a couple months. And then his second series is John Wick starring Michelle Yeoh, going after her kidnapped daughters and tearing the world apart to get to them. Also a great book.
There you go.
Apparently Rohan means, I was completely wrong. Rohan means apparently ascending. He did not know that. I forgot.
There you go.
There you go.
So it's perfect.
Right.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. That's cool. That's very
But
cool.
he got that essence of, that South Indian part so correct. Oh my God. So many places I felt, it made me feel so close to home. I love
Oh,
it. And overall Rohan's character, I related to it so much. The way he finds different restaurants to eat, different foods to eat. Oh, that was so
Yes.
me. And he did, okay, without spoilers, I'll try that between that female character and Rohan, the trope he executed, it was very common in Indian movies actually.
Okay.
okay.
Which I
Really,
know he's a huge fan of. He loves Bollywood movies, and he talks about it constantly. Like, I think that he usually works too, doesn't he? Because if you haven't read the books, he's a tow truck driver. Only he does it by hand because he can fly through space because he's a superhero. And as
Right.
he flies, he puts in Bollywood music, and that's what he jams to as he's. And I can hear, I can just hear the beat as you're reading. He's out there
That's-
waiting for
yeah.
something, and he's, yep, that's what's playing.
Yeah.
It's playing in my head too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Mihir in the chat, he's confirming actually. Yes, Rohan means this, and he knows better actually.
Is the where is he at?
Fantasy book group.
Oh,
Rohan means ascend. There you go.
there you go.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Rohan means ascend. Yep. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but yeah, we've loved those books. And, so okay, so if that's a book that really made you feel like at home, is there any other books that make you feel that way that you would recommend?
Okay, there are not exactly at home, but there are two books actually. These two, Palace of Illusions and Forest of Enchantments by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. These are based retellings of Indian epics. Palace of Illusions, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys heard of Mahabharata. It's an Indian epic actually.
Okay.
So this is in Draupadi's POV. Draupadi is one of the characters in Mahabharata. This one, Forest of Enchantments, oh my god, it's such a beautiful book. I'll tell you. Actually, this is a retelling of Ramayana. Again, Indian epic.
Mhm.
Ram is a Hindu god. So this is a story about Ram and his wife Sita and the problems they faced. I mean, the overall story is there is this demon called Ravan who kidnaps Sita, and Ram goes on this adventure to bring her back. And after bringing her back, what did they live happily or not, and what happened? So for the first time, she wrote a story from Sita's perspective. And beautifully written. Her writing is so good. She wrote so many books. I mean, I have so many on my shelf. Evie gifted me all of those.
Yeah.
I read only these two so far, but I'm planning to read all of them. Beautifully written.
Awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We will get those put into the show notes later, right?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have you type.
So
out your
after
name
we get off
so
of
that
this,
way
we'll
we
get the links to Amazon so people can take a look at those. Yeah.
with those books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So if you're watching now, come back later, and we will have that in the show notes.
We'll have
Yeah.
those written down. Which makes me wonder: are there any books that are not in English that you would love to see translated into English? That that they love to read.
Near to your heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, there are so many because
Yeah.
as a kid I read so many books in my first language, that is Telugu.
Okay.
There are this. I'm not sure if Mihir read them. They're in Hindi or not. There are these books called Maryada Ramanna. Not Maryada Ramanna. Sorry, I'm misremembering. Maryada Ramanna is different thing. There are. I don't know the title. It's called Vikramarka. The king's name is Vikramarka. I think Bhatti Vikramarka stories or something. The concept is the king goes to forest. There is a ghost on the tree. He'll bring that ghost, and he puts that ghost on his shoulder and carries. So while bringing that ghost out of the forest, that ghost tells him a story. At the end of the story, that ghost asks this king few questions. He has to answer them. If he answers right, that ghost will disappear and go back to the tree. He has to do that, but he has to answer them. If he knows the answer and still doesn't answer, he'll die. That's the deal or something. So I read this as a kid. Oh my god! I mean, maybe now if I read, if Vikram Betal, thank you. I don't know if I read them now, if I would be able to answer, but as a kid, when I read those stories, I wouldn't be able to answer the questions. I was like, I was so fascinated with that. Oh my God,
Yeah.
how did this king answer? I don't know how to answer those questions. It was
Yeah.
very challenging and
Wow.
fascinating to me.
Yeah.
I want that. And there are other kid stories like Panchatantra stories and all that. I think some of the Panchatantra stories, they are translated to English.
Okay.
Am I right, Mahir? I'm not sure actually. I haven't read them in English, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, I mean, there's so many new fantasies coming over from India too. Maybe it's time that somebody does translate a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, yeah. Has anyone done like are there fantasies that are more influenced? Very typically they're all European influenced
Yeah, yeah.
fantasies, and we're starting to see more. We see Slavic and
Yep.
African,
And
I've seen
Chinese has
some
had it has been doing it
Chinese
since
and
the 80s. Yeah.
South American. Are there Indian ones that are influenced by that in the fantasy?
Most of the fantasies these days are from Indian epic tales, these Mahabharata and Ramayana. Suppose you must have heard about Sons of Darkness, right? By Gaurav Mohanty. He's
Right.
in,
Yeah. Yeah. I know that one. Yeah.
okay. That is inspired by Mahabharata. I mean,
Okay.
names, characters, and locations are from that place, but he's a big fan of Game of Thrones. So
Okay.
it's kind of mix characters and locations from Mahabharata, but most of the storyline is inspired by Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So, and there are other things. Oh my God, I have this book. 1 second, sorry. I'm not ready. You guys did not send me questions.
I know. Yep. We're just jumping on them.
This is Kaikeyi by Vaishnavi Patel. This is also the same. This is Ramayana, I said, right?
Okay.
Inspiration. So, one of the characters in this is Kaikeyi. This is her story. It came out last year. And the same author is releasing, I think, this month, Goddess of River, that is based on one of the myth actually, Ganga. It's Ganga is a popular river in India. You
Mhm.
must have heard like river Ganges. I don't know if you're familiar with Indian geography.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there are so many stories coming out based on mythological retellings or inspired from that. So other stories, I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't seen much in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's very similar to like the fact that so many European fantasies are based on Tolkien now and his inspiration. So to have new fantasies based on Indian culture too is important, because then that allows for new growth as the whole fantasy genre becomes more well-rounded.
Mhm. So what about, you said you've been reading more historical fiction. Has there been historical fiction set in India?
Or yeah, what are you reading?
Yeah.
I mean, I am reading mostly Roman historical fiction with Alan. But okay, two questions. What I'm reading is I started last year. I started with the Cicero trilogy by Robert Harris. Oh my God, it blew my brain actually. So good, so good. It's like it reads like a political thriller. One of the best. I mean, it started my what is it? I started enjoying historical fiction, restarted actually because of Cicero trilogy.
Sorry.
Very, very well written, so good.
Yeah.
And then I read Claudius this year, and Claudius the God. I really liked I Claudius. It follows the story of, though its title is I Claudius, but it follows the story of first three emperors in Roman Empire: Augustus, Tiberius, and who is the third? Caligula. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, and then we read Claudius the God. We are going to continue. Just now, Nero came out. Nero by Connie Gulden. It came out. It released this week actually.
Okay.
So we are going in that order. That I'm reading. But based on Indian history, oh my God. So okay, South Indian has history, so much history based on Chola Empire. It's a huge empire. They ruled Indonesia also, most of the Eastern Asia. So there was this 6-book epic series. Recently, new movies also came out, Ponniyin Selvan. So they are translated to English. Those books they are translated to 6 books. I am planning to read them,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
I mean, in English, I don't remember seeing many actually. I haven't read much in English actually, because when I started reading in English, I moved to this kind of towards West actually, learning more about this part, history,
Sure,
this
sure.
fantasy.
Right.
So everything I read about Indian history or Indian fantasy, mostly I read in my first language. So
Right.
English
Right.
I have to search as well. And
Yeah.
Mihir is right in comments. Tasha Suri has Indian based fantasy. I think, what is that series name? Jasmine Throne is the first book.
Right.
Yes.
Burning Kingdoms, I think that's she has a trilogy. Alex Ruth Ford wrote 5 historical fiction books on first 5 Mughal emperors.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. And there are some stories. Actually, I was talking with Alan about this also. He was asking, he was reading. Alan is a history teacher too in school. So he was
Right.
teaching his students about Alexander traveled to India during that time. There was an emperor called Chandragupta, and Chanakya was his advisor. He was asking me about that. So we were planning to read. There was this popular Chanakya. He's a strategist to this emperor actually. So there are many books about them. So
Okay.
we are planning to read that as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And oh my god. This is about Opium War, actually. Sea of Poppies by Amitav Ghosh. This is also, I think, 3-book trilogy.
Okay.
I only have the first one. This is also like Indian historical fiction.
Oh, okay.
After Chinese Opium War, a timeline I'm not sure. I think after Chinese Opium War.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that one? Okay.
And then the Mughal Empire was farther north, right? Not far north, but kind of central north.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct. Oh, here, have you read this one? Let me know. I mean, please ping me your thoughts in Twitter.
Yes.
I mean, Mihir is very, very well read. I mean, he read most of the fantasy and he knows most about all these things.
Yeah.
I'll say he's got all the titles there. That's awesome. Wonderful.
And this gives me idea. I need to bring him on my channel.
Yeah.
Mihir, would you be interested in something like that coming on my channel? Okay.
Yes. There we go.
You heard it here.
There you go. Go follow it.
I think that is response to for me asking to send me his thoughts, but I take
yes,
it.
that too.
We're going to take it as he's accepted to come on your show. Fact, right?
Done.
All right. Let's see. We asked that. Oh, yeah. Do you reread a lot?
Yeah.
Or never?
I used to reread a lot as a kid. I reread Harry Potter so many times, especially that final book. My Harry Potter books are in my parents' place in India. So whenever I go home, I used to reread Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
But these days, especially since starting channel, no time to reread because I commit to so many buddy read, so many book discussions. I'm not at all. Last 2-3 years I did not reread at all. I think I reread Lord of the Rings first book, and then few romance books when I was in slump last year. That's all.
Okay. So that's because I was going to say that's another way to get out of a reading slump is to reread one of your favorites again, right?
But this year I'm planning to reread, especially before Needle and Leaf for final book. I want to reread first 2 books and Kaleshan Saga. I want to read because it's been so long since I read first book. While reading second book, I had so many questions. So before picking up the third book, I want to read the first 2 first and read third, and then be ready for the final book. So I'm planning to do that.
Well, there's going to be 2 more.
In Needle and Leaf.
In Needle and Leaf.
Yes.
No, that's not acceptable. That's not at all acceptable.
He wasn't able to sum it up.
If I did it in one book, it would be far too big, and I don't want to I don't want to have any series creep. So book 3 will be coming out by the end of this year. Fingers crossed, and then I'll write the next one the next year.
Well, that way you can
Okay.
finish collation and yeah.
Yes, and also more time with Needle and Leaf. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we love that one. So, yeah. So rereading. So, do you have a go-to feel-good book? I guess Harry Potter, probably. Yeah.
Go to feel good book. Damn, these days every fantasy book is sad.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm thinking about Six of Crows Geology a lot these days. I'm thinking like if I want to reread something or if I want a comfort read, I'll go. I'm considering to pick it up, so you can consider that.
Yeah.
And all books I see, my favorite are the Daniel Abraham, KJ Parker. These are all sad books, and
Oh.
Broken Heart trilogy, sad books.
Yeah.
But I can turn what is hybrid helix books into feel good books. Those are
Yeah.
my go to books from now on.
Yes. Yes. Hybrid Helix is definitely like you have to smile when you're finished.
Yeah. And while you're reading it.
Yes. Yeah. So do you prefer books that make you feel sad?
Or is it just an accident?
Okay. I feel sad in every book. That's given actually. I mean since I was a kid I used to cry while watching movies. I cry in every book, almost every book. The character has a just slipped and fall down, I cry. That's enough actually. So so the book doesn't have to be like very tragic for to
Okay.
make me sad. I cry for small things also in books, not in life.
Yeah.
Um, so it's difficult to answer that question. So I don't pick and choose happy book or a sad
Right.
book. It depends on the plot, how much it makes me feel that emotion actually.
Mhm.
Right.
If it makes me either happy or sad, it doesn't matter. I will still love the book. But if the book makes me angry, then I have a problem.
Okay.
That's when she starts messaging me.
Yes. So maybe not feel good, but like what's your go-to author these days?
Go Tchaikovsky, Adrian Tchaikovsky.
Yeah.
I read so many by this. I think 14 or 15 by this point.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't really had so many.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he's a new author for me. I'd never heard of him. So
You guys have to read Guns of the Dawn.
yes, we will. We'll have it. that
Yes.
is going to be next on my TBR. Well, we've got some other books I have to read for other guests, but yes.
Meher, last 100 pages, I did not stop crying. And it's not like I don't know who dies and who doesn't. That was a battle we have known. We know which character dies, right? Even then, I cried a lot.
Right. But there's something powerful about that, about a
Yeah.
book that makes you feel that much, right? That
I am a very immersive reader. I put myself in that character's place and I feel those emotions. That's why it is very tough for me to read sexual assault scenes. I prefer to avoid them because imagine putting yourself in that character's
Right.
place.
Yeah.
You can't feel the trauma. Oh my God.
Right.
I don't want to say the book's name because it will spoil things. When I read one of the books with sexual assault, it was so triggering. Random things. I go to groceries, I was picking fruits and I was crying. People are looking at me. I was like, oh my God. It was so tough.
Yeah. So for immersive reading, do you prefer audiobooks? Do you do audiobooks or do you do anything?
I do both physical and audio. I prefer to do both because I don't want to miss anything because I am very imaginative reader, visual reader. I don't want to miss anything, any word or any even comma because it helps to imagine the scene perfectly.
Right.
So I need physical and audio also helps.
Mm-hmm. I love doing audiobooks with fantasy in particular because then I know how to pronounce everybody's name. Like, otherwise, I'm like, no.
And And you sent me copy of audiobook of Quaint Creatures, right?
Mhm.
It has so many unique animal names. It's like, first of all, I can't what recollect the character names because they are so tough. So I got ebook and I'm doing a machine reading.
Yes, so
Yeah.
you can follow along exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What is the longest book series that you have read all the way to completion?
Realm of Elderlings, 16 books.
Okay.
You made it through all of them?
Yeah.
Yes, including Willful Princess novella. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Piebald. Okay.
Okay.
So are you excited for the fact that she's writing more now, or no?
I will read it. Am I excited? No, because I know which character she's going to give hard time to. I don't want to see that character suffer.
Yeah.
So I won't say excited, but I'm definitely going to read it.
Okay.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Shadows of the Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. That is a 10-book series, very underrated series, not popular. So I want to give a shout out. I also finished that series.
Okay.
That was Tchaikovsky. You said.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
So what's a series you're in the middle of right now that you're enjoying? Probably
Okay.
all sorts of series.
Okay, that those two different questions. One is Eyes of the Voids, book two in Final Architecture by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is
Okay.
sci-fi. I am reading this book from past 2 months. Book one, I loved. It was 5 stars. I loved everything about it. This is also a good book, but I'm in slump and no, I need to get
Yeah.
out of. That's why I'm changing. And now oh my god, I need to show this. Best book I read last year.
Okay.
Dragon's Path, Dagger and Coin series by Daniel Abraham. Daniel Abraham is my favorite author. Long Price Quartet is my all-time favorite series, and this series is also so good. Oh my god! People say that first books are slow. Daniel Abraham's first books are slow. I mean, he takes time to set up the world and characters, but somehow he works with me. The themes he explore, and the way he writes, his philosophy, he gets me. That's how I feel. The
Mm.
philosophy in Long Press Quartet, that's me actually. I was so excited when I was reading Long Press Quartet. I mean, God, this is someone who thinks like me.
Mm.
Yes.
This is all about consequences of our actions, the
Yeah.
price we pay for what we did. Because that is my, you know, when growing up, when people get away with things, that bothers me a lot. I always
Mhm.
used to shout like, people have to pay consequences, they have to pay a price. Then my friends used to say, Anitha, that's not how world works. That is my thing. So when he explored that theme, I was like, oh my god, I love this author. This is
Yes.
Awesome.
so I see the same thing in this series as well. I mean, I only read 2 books so far. I need to get to third book, but the way he set up these characters, especially second book King's Blood, the way he brought characters to each place ready to the next book. My god, it's like, it's I mean, first time I felt like, I mean, I understand the appreciation for art actually. This is
Uh,
Mm.
art. My god,
Yeah.
so good.
So you don't have to have read Long Price Quartet to read that one?
No.
Okay.
This,
They're
this
completely
is a
different.
completely different series, and this is epic fantasy. Actually, this is easier to get to
Oh,
because
okay.
Long Press Quartet was a unique setting, is an Asian setting, and it has a lot of these forms. People take people. Many people are not comfortable with reading that, but
Okay.
this is like regular fantasy series, epic fantasy series. We
Okay.
can start with this.
Okay.
Nice.
Excellent.
What is a say I had it here. What is a villain that you love to hate? Who is a villain that you love to hate?
This is going to take some time. Meanwhile, you can go through the comments meanwhile.
Okay. Do you have an answer to that?
Can I choose a negative character but main character instead of villain?
Answer
Yeah.
however you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, but I don't hate that. Pete, can you help me? Can you remind me?
So if it helps, my next question is: there a hero that you can't stand?
Yes. Engineer Trilogy by KJ Parker. First book is Devices and Desires. I'm not sure if you can call him a hero. He's an anti-hero actually, but
Right.
main protagonist called Gianni Vazes. Oh my god, I hated him. I hated him a lot. I mean, overall trilogy is like 4.5 star for me. I liked so many things, but I hated the main character so much. Oh my god, he's such a horrible person. He does so many. I mean, I think my expectations also problem here because I'll read the blurb. It's okay, right? Do you guys have time?
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Okay, blurb. When an engineer is sentenced to death for a petty transgression of Gilna, he flees the city, leaving behind his wife and daughter. Forced into exile, he seeks a terrible vengeance, one that will leave a trail of death and destruction in its wake. But he will not be able to achieve this by himself. He must drop his plans using the blood of others. This is the extraordinary tale of a man who engineers a war to be reunited with his family.
Hmm.
So, synopsis,
Interesting.
how does it sound? How does it? I mean, it's like when you read this synopsis, it felt like it is about rebellion. He goes to war to be with his wife and daughter. So
Right.
it sounds like he is on the good side, right?
Oh, okay.
But he's gonna burn the house down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, such a. I mean, Evie loved this character.
She would.
We, Alan and Pete, we four had discussions about these books.
Yeah.
We three hated this character a lot.
Yeah.
My bookshelf, everything, I'm keeping it down. And, yeah.
So
Okay, continue. I mean, I'll think about your previous question.
okay, about the villain. Yeah. So I guess we did have a question that went with what we were talking about before about are you reading and listening simultaneously or reading then
Yes.
listening later? You're doing immersion reading, right? Where you're
Yes,
following
I'll
along.
read. I'll read and listen simultaneously at the same
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
It helps me go through it fast.
Right.
How fast do you listen?
Yeah.
That depends on the narrator. So some books I go up to 2, some books I listen only at 1.25.
Okay.
I think only you I listen at 1 if it is only audio.
I'm so fast. I know.
Because he narrates so fast, and there are also tough terms out there like words, names, and
Yeah.
animals. So many animals names. I wanted to follow them, but if there is I mean, now I have ebook to follow through because there are so many names. I want to remember them. I'm not remembering if it is only audio. Then I increase up to 1.25.
Yeah. I think I read at 125 because that's what I listen at.
Yeah.
And even that is me speaking slowly comparatively to when I normally talk.
Yeah.
When I try to listen to books at 1, it's so
It's like slogging.
dang
Yeah.
slow. It's like, just get to the point.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. I've tried.
There's certain narrators that I do
Some
listen to at a
narrators can.
slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like 125. I not just because I want to hear it faster. I think 125 makes most books more quippy. Like
Yes.
especially like a Discworld. Like Discworld
Yes,
books
Pratchett.
are great at 125.
Yeah.
Any British humor at 125 just read funny when it's at 125.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to answer Mihit's question.
Yeah.
Which character from the Robin Hood series she dislikes or hates the most
I know
without a
the
question?
answer to this.
Yes.
Can it? Oh my god, I hated him. I mean, you know why? Because of the final book, but I'm showing first book in the Live Ship trilogy because I hated him from the beginning. I don't like that kind of manipulative characters. I never fell for his charm. People who read, especially people who read with me, I had a discussion about every book in my channel, and everyone hated Kyle more, but I have seen Kyle, so many Kyles in my life, and he was so normalized. At the same time, Kyle, nobody was manipulated by Kyle. We can clearly see that he's a narcissistic, dominating
Oh,
person.
Mhm.
It is
yeah.
very, I mean, if we want to, it is very easy to protect ourselves from people like Kyle. Actually,
Yeah.
if we want to, but
Mhm.
from someone like Kenneth, I mean, many people can fall into the trap easily.
Right.
I
That's a
Yeah.
really great
cannot,
description of the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I mean, I never fell for his charm. I hated him from the beginning, actually.
You saw him for who he truly was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't like those kind of manipulative people.
Yeah.
No matter how handsome they are, how
No.
charming they are, I
Yeah.
don't like. I cannot even in real life. I mean,
Right.
okay, I don't want to say like in absolute terms, but I'm good at reading people. Actually,
Mhm.
I
Mm,
can't stand those kind of people.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That manipulative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Um, that's amazing that I so I no all right. Let's start over. Um, I love when I read characters that remind me of real people, but that can also be something that they're too realistic, right? Where you're reading a book and you're like, oh no, I can't even handle reading this because it reminds me of somebody really in my life who drives me nuts like that, that kind of thing. Or a manipulative person where you're just like, yeah, I can't. One of my friends who writes books, I'm reading one of his first drafts, and he's got some characters in there that are just so manipulative and conniving, but the reason they're driving me crazy is because they are so realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just makes me upset, right? And yeah, so it's wonderful when an author, I was going to say an actor, when an author can tap into that, but it can also be, it's almost too realistic, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't read any Robin Hobb's books because he's told me I wouldn't like them.
No.
So and definitely every time I listen to like you talking about them and everybody, I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't care for those. So, yeah. So is there
You
oh,
can try Farsi trilogy. I mean, yeah, it is sad too, but that's much better than, not as heartbreaking as other trilogies. Actually,
okay.
I loved Assassin's Apprentice. You can try with that. That is a short book, 400 pages book only.
Only 400 pages.
Yeah.
You guys read such long books. Gosh. Okay, what's
We
the
write long ones.
So what's the longest book that you've read that you like?
Single book.
Single, yeah. I mean, Tchaikovsky is pretty big. Those are.
Yeah, but they're like 700-page max. I think this one is 900. Mad Ship.
Oh, is
Uh,
that one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't her last book the longest?
Really?
I love that you have the whole matching set.
853 pages.
Okay.
Oh,
This is 906 pages. Mad Ship is the longest page.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a short 50,000 word. I like my cozy mysteries. Historical mysteries come in at like 90,000 words, which is like what 350, 400 pages. Like that's my max. Yeah. That's my yeah.
I
So
have
we are.
Okay, you go ahead. I'll answer.
Oh, go ahead. No, I just realized what time it is. We've only got like 5 more minutes left. So, people who have questions, make sure that you put some in there. We've got wondering if you've read any Wheel of Time.
I read first 5 actually.
Okay.
I haven't continued. I mean, I have to continue. I have all long reviews of first 5 books. They are hilarious now if I go and watch it.
Right. Yes.
And then Mahir says,
Yes, exactly. I mean, they're all like, oh,
500
yeah,
pages.
it's a short book. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's not. And then the audiobooks clock in at like 10 or 12 hours. And it's
No.
all like short.
No, 24.
24 hours, yeah.
The Sun Eaters I'm listening to are 24 and 28. I think the one I'm on now is 28 hours, and that's just book 2, and I'm sure they're longer after that.
Wow. Yeah.
I think Stormlight's 65 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
500 is not short, Chad. 300 is short.
There you go. Yeah.
Long for anything more than 700 is very long. Which upcoming fantasy books are excited for?
Yes.
I'm still catching up with old books. Upcoming means very difficult. Okay. Daniel Abraham new trilogy is there. Came out, Kitama trilogy. I haven't read first 2 books, but third book will be coming out soon. I'm excited about that, but I haven't read first 2 books. What did I read and waiting for? Tchaikovsky books. I'm always excited for Tchaikovsky books. He releases like 3-4 books every day. Some I get NetGalley and I read. This year I haven't read anything, but I want to pick up his new book actually. There are two already released, Alien Clay and Service Model. There are 2 more coming out this year actually.
Wow.
And there is something else I'm looking. Goddess of River. I'm very excited for that. I do have NetGalley. I think it's oh my god, we are May last week, right? It should I think it got out already.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm so behind me here. I don't think I started any series which hasn't finished and coming out. And actually, I was excited for Alien Clay. I haven't read that yet. I haven't yet. I was excited for Andrew Meredith's Needle and Leaf trilogy, but he just announced that it is not going to be finale.
It's okay. They're all short reads.
Yes.
Yeah, they're only 250.
Yeah. Easy in, easy out.
What else is there? Okay. To answer, you were whispering something.
We're good.
To answer your question about villain, I have 2 answers.
Okay.
One is you're not familiar with that. It's from Indian epic tale Mahabharata. I love to hate Duryodhana. He's kind of a villain from Mahabharata actually, like bad character. It's essentially a clash between Pandavas and Kauravas. They're brothers' kids actually. Pandavas are 5 brothers and Kauravas are like 101 brothers actually. So their fathers are brothers. So it's clash between these brothers about the kingdom. Who gets the kingdom.
Okay.
So and there is a big war at the end. So that from Kaurava's side, the main big brother is called Duryodhan. He's considered as a villain actually. So I love to hate him actually. Mihir understands this. And coming back to fantasy, you guys know I love to hate Dane from Kaleshan Saga. Andrew knows how much I hated, how many messages I sent him.
So that's actually what we were whispering about was, what was the question that we were waiting for an answer for? I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm glad you remembered.
You read Deathless Beast, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That every time Junaid put him in place, that was my favorite moment actually. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He never let Dane got away with the things he said. I love that.
Yep.
Exactly.
More in 4.
Yay. Yeah. Which book 4 is coming out?
Yes. End of this summer will be book 4 of Kaleshan will come out.
Yeah. So I guess before we sign off, is there anything that you would like to tell people that's coming up for you in the next in the next month, I guess?
Okay. I mean, you guys know I'm in reading slump from past 2 months and I haven't made content, but in June I'm planning. I made couple of discussions 2 months back, like about grimdark and about
Yes.
themes in
Yes.
my channel. I also planned actually 2 discussions about female characters and about sexual violence in fantasy books.
Mm.
But since I was in slump, it never happened. So I'm
Mhm.
planning to schedule them in June and
Okay.
discuss them.
Awesome.
I
Wonderful.
need, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, be sure to subscribe to Anitha's channel.
Please.
It is linked down below. She's fantastic. It's so much fun following along.
And hit the notification bell so you'll know the moment it drops.
Yes, there you go. Yes, be sure to like and subscribe to us as well here on my channel. And let's see, what have we? Oh, my ebook and audiobook for Slings and Sparrows releases tomorrow. So that's available now. Yep. This is there you go. So this is my cozy mystery in a new series featuring senior sleuths set in the 1990s, because that's considered historical fiction now. So, so that comes out tomorrow, and then the print is releasing about 2 weeks after that. So, but other than that, make sure
you can pre-order that right now.
Yes, you can go pre-order that right now. But otherwise, thank you all for coming.
Thank you for coming,
watching, for watching live, or if you're watching it later. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Anitha, for joining us tonight. This is so much fun. This is the first time we've been able to do a live chat with you. So I love it. So much fun.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. Actually, I had so much fun with questions. I mean, they're so random, and I had fun answering them. Thank you everyone for though it's late. We were doing Discord sprints earlier. So I said during the Discord sprints, it's late, you have to come. So everyone turned up. So thank you guys.
Wonderful. Excellent. Well, thank you all for coming and saying hi. So
Mihir, when we plan something, I'll let you know actually.
Yes.
I mean, I can include you when we plan something if it comes to fruition.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay. Perfect. Yes. So everyone go subscribe, and then you can see that. And then next week we have Zach Diamante.
Yes, Diamante will be on.
Will be our guest, fantasy author. And that's all for now, because we're out of time. So everybody have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week ahead of you. Thank you again for joining us. Bye.
Bye.